Yeah.
I believe we were kind of at the point where you fasted for a month straight.
Oh yeah.
And I was just hoping we could unpack that, because I'm legitimately just curious. We all also do different fasting practices, but that is next level, bro.
Yeah. So, and just to preface it a little bit, I was at kind of a really low point with a whole bunch of stuff, but like that was really the point of it. The whole bunch of stuff was like at a low point, and I just sold my business. I was clearly turning a big chapter in my life. Like I didn't really know where I was going. But I knew I was moving on, and there were so many things I was really unhappy with, including just my esteem, my confidence, my clarity, my relationships, like whatever. And fasting had just kept coming across.
You mean it's all connected? In some way?
Well, this is kind of my first, like, I was just I was like now in my late 20s. I spent my entire 20s just grinding as a business owner with like no regard to long-term health, no protection of my own time and space. This was like I was connected via text or whatever all day long, the opposite of what I am now. And it was, the wheels were coming off. The wheels had just come off. I pulled it off for a while, but it hit its end. And I was ready to really turn a page, and I was like, man, I'm kind of moving on. I'm kind of rebuilding. Like the next half of my life is starting. I don't even know what I'm going to be doing exactly, but I know I want to feel a lot better than this. And fasting had just kept coming across my path. Like it just showed up in a few different ways, in a few different kind of weird places. And I was like, fasting, like, podcasts and whatnot. I'm like, all right, like I gotta like kind of look into this. And my wife actually, who ended up doing it with me, sort of took the lead on the idea of it. She's the one who was like, we should really look into this.
Cool.
Where in the past I would maybe like read about it, learn about it, like, damn, sounds cool, but like maybe not do it.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, let's do it, and because she was in the same boat, we knew we needed it, so we did 30 days. We didn't plan on doing 30 days. We planned on kind of just going and seeing what happened. The fast that we did, it actually was kind of like a followed protocol, and the name for this specific fast is called the Master Fast. And it's just one guy who has this protocol. Definitely, a little out there. Just warning people if they want to look it up, depending on how you define out there. But there are aspects of it I would maybe not recommend after doing it, but or certain outlooks that he have that I don't fully align with. But it is 30. So we did 30 days, and you do drink juice. You drink grape juice. Basically, it's like the only thing. And what I want to say though is like some people, they hear like, oh, so it's a juice cleanse. I'm like, no, it's not juice. You're drinking juice because especially grape juice for the fast burning sugar. So you actually have some energy, right? You have some outside source energy, but it's almost essentially zero ask from your digestive system. So zero tax on the system.
Right.
But when I say it's not a juice cleanse, because it was very much a spiritually or like emotionally and spiritually driven practice. Like it was like the goal and intention wasn't like, oh, you can lose, you can lose weight, or it's not even like that's not even part of the discussion with this type of thing. It's purely, it's purely for these reasons. And so that's why we did it. And in those 30 days, I definitely had some profound breakthroughs. One of which was starting to actually journal and write things down, which now I do every day. And it's anything I have in my life and create and teach is all basically started in my journal, right? In some sense. But really in the month.
Started in nature.
What's that?
Started in nature before you put it in the journal.
That's right. and it's funny. So that's what would happen. So I was not only fasting, and then even after the fast, I started doing these very long walks of just nothing, just no phone, obviously, no nothing, just no destination, just wandering. And I'd come back from these, I'd just observe. I'd just observe and observe. And I'd think, and I'd find little lessons in nature and apply them to my life. And then I'd go home and I'd start writing. And I'd write. And almost all entirely what I teach is like based off of those original writings. And the fast though, like in those following weeks, months, and even now years, I still reflect on certain like lessons that end up coming about. And it was the combination of that like emptiness of really cleaning out. So there was also, I did an enema every day, which might sound strange, but like you gotta try to, like the idea was to empty, right? To empty and all the our emotions have physical components to it, and so much of it is in the gut, and then so much of it is in the gut from things that happened in childhood, in years ago, that are just bound up energy in there and whatnot. So it would just be enemas and just emptying and just being this ultimate stillness, really, because it's like after a week or two, it's like, all right, I don't have to even think about my next meal. I don't have to be worried about food. I just have my own. I'm just here with myself, and like that's it. No input. And that was such a eye-opening experience for me, and cleansing experience. And I just got rid of so much shit, literally, that was in my body that was clogging up my intuition and my ability to hear the deep whispers, and let that guide me. And the reason I was in that mess that I was in was because I wasn't able to hear them, and I was overloaded, I was overworked, underrested, overstimulated, too toxic to hear any of that stuff. And that's why I was in a mess. That's why I wasn't, my life felt like it was falling apart around me. And now to surrender to that and reconnect with that voice, and to let that now guide me, knowing I have a long way to go. This is a new half of my life. There's no rush. There's no timeline. I'm just going to start listening to this voice again and let it lead me. That's really what I did from that point forward. And that having that fast was such a good hard line of like, I'm changing my life. And I didn't even really know it so much at the time. Like I knew it was a turning point, but like I didn't realize how drastic it was going to be. Of like, I'm now letting my soul guide me. And what's happened in the last now 3.5 years or so since then is a direct result of just following my soul every single day of my life. And sometimes I struggle. Sometimes I still battle with the fears and stuff that everybody does, but generally, I'm in so much of a better place because of that.